So I'm really excited about the Samsung S95B, and in today's video, we're going to talk about why. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. There are so many television manufacturers that claim so many different things, but this year I think we've seen the most promising from Samsung with their brand new attempts at ending the whole you pay $500+ for a calibrator to fix your TV with their application with, again, smart calibration from your phone. I mean, that alone is really exciting, especially if it's universal on every device. Brilliant, intelligent way of doing things. But what really caught my eye was their real depth enhancing technology that kind of hones in on what the human eye has. Now, this kind of jargon has been used before by Sony with their XR chip. Sony failed miserably at living up to that because, as I've proved in prior videos, as it compares to their past efforts, it didn't really look like much of an upgrade. Samsung's talking about things that are very specific though. They're talking about like depth as it pertains to like, particular objects. So like, for example, if you're watching nature shows or like real life TV, they're being very specific in the way that they're advertising this. That gives me hope because my biggest complaint is when I'm watching things like nature shows or reality TV, those things lose dimensionality. The broadcast style tends to fall apart and things kind of look a little two-dimensional on most TVs. And you've really got to work to get that detail balanced properly. But Samsung's saying, we're just going to grab you with that real contrast that we're going to put, that real depth that we're going to put into these TVs. And that has me so, you have no idea, hype for this. And then, if that's not enough, Quantum.OLED. So we're getting that extra vibrancy, but I already own mini Quantum.TV, so I'm not expecting a whole lot in that aspect, but it is nice to see a more vibrant OLED. So, good job there. But then, of course, enters something I am extremely passionate about and super excited about. The way that they're talking about upscaling with this neural network of AI interfacing, and AI, I truly believe in that technology. It is the future, because it can computationally decide on the fly what needs to be done. And if it works anything like how they've done it with their Samsung Galaxy phones, their AI technology is going to be incredible. Because what it essentially does is it does a lot of the work for you. It finds areas where there are high, bright highlights that are clipping out and tone maps those, keeps them clean, keeps them pure. Now, of course, we're talking about at the phone level, but if this translates over to the television world with this new neuro 4K processor that they put in there, that would be incredible. Like, there are just so many reasons to be excited for Samsung this year, and I don't think that is being talked about enough. Yes, Sony is coming out with a Quantum.OLED, but I'm losing excitement the more I learn about it. It's not as bright as they came out. They're claiming, Sony's problem, right, is they promise too much. They say, you know what, we're going to deliver you a TV that's 200% brighter than basically all the OLEDs on the market right now. And we're listening to this like, oh, wow, okay, sure, yeah. It's going to be more vibrant than anything you've ever seen. More or less is essentially how they're marketing this. And we're like, all right, cool, great. Early reviews have not indicated that. In fact, it kind of seems like most people are disappointed. And then there was this kind of concern with like black levels being gray out of CNET that I saw, I think we all saw their video on that. And if you haven't, you should watch. It was actually really refreshing for me to see CNET be like really transparent and honest, and that was refreshing for me. So I really, good job guys, because that was very good. You're there at a pre-event and you're not just glowing about the product for the sake of glowing about the product. I commend that behavior. Very good job there. And it gave us a little bit more of a window as to what we can expect. Now, of course, I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to review this, and I'm going to totally tear it apart and like see what it does and doesn't do. That's just, you guys know that's what I do here. But for me, I was really more so excited about what Samsung has to offer. I mean, they're just blasting off with like just more of a proposition value. And then the fact that like they're designing it as much as a copy and paste as it is of like the Q90R from like 2019, I still like that you can put a soundbar underneath, where Sony doesn't even care about that on their QD OLED. They're just like, if you can afford a QD OLED, you are one type of customer, a wall mounter. Screw everybody else. Otherwise, you're going to get this really weird stand that just stays flat and close to the base of the media console, and that's all you get. I don't like that because I'm somebody that does not like big speakers all over my home. I'd much rather fill my home with artwork and things of the like. And that takes up valuable space for me. And so a company that understands that there are multiple types of users is huge for a guy like me. Now, of course, this is subjective to me. You will have your own tastes as well, and I completely understand that. But I'm just saying, like, can we take a minute to appreciate that? Like, Samsung has never really talked about like depth enhancement like this. They've never talked about the refinements to picture quality the way that they're talking about it. And it really does give me a lot of hope for what they are going to achieve at the end of the day. Of course, there are other things that we could talk about that they're advertising, but I think the big takeaway here is that Samsung is talking a big game without seemingly at this level overselling what they've done. Now, behind me is a Samsung Q8FN from 2018, which is still their best of their best. I haven't found a single Samsung TV that has been able to beat this one. So, what we're going to do is be comparing their best against what they come out with next. A quantum dot wrapped with metal. I mean, that was like a huge selling feature for me back in the day, and it's extremely vibrant. And I want to see if QD OLED can beat something like that. If you want to see creative and awesome videos like this, make sure you join, subscribe, and hey, keep it locked, because we're going to have some fun here.